So I've been making these videos for a few months now, and if you've seen any of them, then you'll probably know that what I try to do is look for common meaning, for a common thread that ties together different traditions and different religions across different cultures and with science. And I look for unity not just in those traditions, but also unity that connects all of us. But the problem with doing this is that many people are very tied to the differences, and they don't like to hear about what makes their religious beliefs or scientific beliefs the same as other traditions, because they are too tied to their own worldview. And then this can lead to disagreement in the comments and even anger. Like, I haven't had a huge amount of angry comments, but there have definitely been some. You know, Christians, Muslims, even Buddhists, different types of Buddhists arguing with each other in the comments about who's the most right. And also materialists who don't think that there is something beyond the physical. And each one of those people are convinced that what I'm saying must be wrong because it doesn't align with their worldview. And of course they disagree with each other as well. They don't just disagree with me. But the one thing that connects all of them is dogma. It's kind of funny, you can get people arguing about who is the right God to pray to, even from people who believe that there is only one God. And if there's only one God, then how can you possibly pray to the wrong one? And the mystics understood this. In the Vedas it says, "Truth is one, the wise call it by many names," suggesting that the names and the words and the concepts aren't important, it's the underlying truth that matters. And this is also reflected in Taoism, when it says, "The Tao that can be named is not the eternal Tao." And an amazing quote from Rumi, who said that the lamps are different, but the light is the same. But I know it's definitely easy for our minds to get caught up in labels. My God, my doctrine, my truth. We can be so tied to these things that we hold tightly. But what I'm talking about isn't a label at all. It is the simple fact of consciousness itself. The one thing that shines through all traditions, all people, all experiences, no matter where you are, it's the same thing that we're all experiencing. And it's actually what all of us arise within. And the funniest thing is that some of the angriest comments come from the ones who purport to be the most religious. One Christian called me a weasel in the comments. Like, that's not very Christian, is it? Like, what would Jesus say if he heard somebody calling somebody else a name like that? You know, I just thought that was quite funny. Especially when, you know, Jesus is the one who says, "Blessed are the meek," and we should love our enemies. And then other traditions, they're all the same. They all talk about love and compassion. And the Buddha said, hatred can never be solved with hatred. And the Bhagavad Gita says that wisdom starts with humility. And I kind of understand what it's like to be connected to some kind of dogmatic view. Like, growing up, like as a young teenager, I was an atheist, and I read Richard Dawkins, and I was very interested in the scientific method. I still am interested in the scientific method. I believe strongly that the scientific method is something that can help us to have our best understanding of the world and our experiences. But back then, I was also a strong materialist. I didn't think there was anything that existed outside of the physical. But that changed when, in my early to mid-20s, I had a spiritual experience where I felt a connection to the whole world and to everybody else and to the divine. This experience of oneness opened my eyes to the fact that there is something beyond the physical. And suddenly I could see why ancient scriptures have lasted thousands of years. It's probably because the people who wrote them had some kind of direct experience. People who experienced what the Upanishads call the self in all beings and all beings in the self. What the Christian mystics called divine union, and what the Buddha referred to as the ending of the illusion of separateness. But over time, The light revealed by these people who had direct experiences became hidden in systems and in organized religion and in doctrines and dogma. But that light is still there, and you can feel it directly when you sit in meditation or when you immerse yourself in nature, when you have moments of pure presence where the boundary between you and the rest of the world starts to dissolve. And that experience is available to anybody. You don't have to believe in anything in particular. All you have to do is pay attention. Just pay attention to the present moment, without judgment, with compassion, letting words fall away, and letting reality reveal itself. Because the truth is, no one tradition has the full picture. And I don't think anybody ever will have the full picture. The world, the universe, reality is too luminous, it's too broad, it's too vast. How could we as individual finite perspectives of something much larger really have the true picture of everything? So we have to stop clinging so tightly to one path. We have to instead look at where the paths come together. Because of course that must be where the truth is shining through most clearly. Across cultures and across traditions, across centuries, the similarities are always the same. Presence, silence, compassion, love, consciousness itself. That is the thread that runs across every tradition. And you don't have to believe in anything in particular in order to discover it. You just need to look inwards. Inwards towards this awareness, the awareness of being here right now, the awareness that's hearing these words, the awareness that every tradition points back towards, and the awareness that we all share. If you want to delve deeper into our shared awareness, then watch this video next.